Please welcome the 15th President of Millersville University, Dr. Daniel A. Wubah.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2021 State of the Ville Address. It is wonderful to see many of you in person today. Last year, around this time, I was standing on this stage recording our annual State of the Ville Address. Although I enjoyed sharing our accomplishments virtually at that time, it wasn't as exciting as today with an audience here. What a difference a year makes. We are back. I want to thank everyone joining me in this auditorium today and those who are joining us online. Members of the PASHI Board of Governors, current and former trustees, faculty, staff, students, alumni, parents, friends, and community leaders, thank you for joining us today. And a special thank you goes to our new faculty and staff, as well as our new faculty emeriti, whose names were shown in our opening slideshow today. Also, I want to thank our recently retired Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Vilas Prabhu, and his wife, Sneha. I also want to once again welcome those of you who joined us this year. That's our faculty and our staff, but especially our new Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Gail Gasparich. Although Gail has been here with us for only 2 months, she's already a very important person in my leadership team. It's glad to have Gail with us, and I'm looking forward to the many contributions he's going to make to our university. Now, as we reflect on the past year, we have all felt the pains of the pandemic in our own unique ways. We have lived with feelings of anxiety and uncertainty, been stretched by discord in our society, and for many, personally experienced serious illness or the loss of a loved one. Our campus experienced a painful and tragic loss nearly 2 weeks ago with the death of first-year student Matthew Mendler. In addition, William Mullen, one of our colleagues in dining, passed away last weekend. During such times, it is important for us to support one another. Our thoughts remain with their family, friends, and loved ones. Let us be ever mindful of our epic values of compassion and inclusion, and unite with a renewed focus on the health and well-being of everyone in our community. At this time, I would ask you to kindly join me for a moment of silence to reflect on the losses we have all experienced this past year. Thank you. July 1st marked the start of my 4th year as president of our university. I don't think anyone could have predicted what we've been through in the past year. We had difficult conversations as the system pursued integrations. At the end of February of this year, we were the first PASHI institution that faced a ransomware cyber attack. We weathered these uncertainties of a volatile economy, and we experienced all of these while navigating a global pandemic which led to challenges that provided opportunities to find strengths we didn't know we had, and to discover new ways for us to connect with each other, as we can see through Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Blue Jeans, and all sorts of other means to connect with one another. The past year required our collective vigilance by monitoring the number of positive COVID cases, encouraging vaccination, and making real-time decisions about mitigation measures. We established committees and task forces that provided advice to the leadership team. These groups included last year's fall reopening planning team, the incident management team, the fall planning task force, and finally, we are currently being guided by the COVID monitoring team. On behalf of our entire community, join me to acknowledge the work of these colleagues with a well-deserved round of applause. As most of you may be aware, I like communicating through stories. So let me share some of the highlights from this past academic year through my stories. During last year's address, I shared the 4 pillars of our strategic plan: tradition and transformation. For the rest of this presentation today, I will provide an update on our progress for each of these pillars, starting with our focus on ensuring access, affordability, and completion. Our mission as a regional public university is to provide a pathway to a higher quality of life through education. We succeed when the pathway is accessible and the destination is clear and affordable. This fall semester, we have 1,989 students living on our campus. They are in our residence halls, and most of them are happy. I see them in the mornings when I'm going to my office. Our total head count is 7,223, made up of 952 graduate students and 6,271 undergraduate students. In addition to that, we welcomed 21 new students from 16 countries. As you may know, accreditation lies at the center of what we do because it validates our work. One of the cardinal accomplishments that we had this past year was the full reaffirmation of our accreditation by the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. This outcome was a result of a 2-year process involving hundreds of individuals from across campus. They participated in the planning, self-study, and virtual site visits. Our institutional accreditation steering committee was led by Dr. James Dale, Dr. Laurie Hannick, and the late Dr. Lisa Shibley. Let's give them a round of applause. In addition to the regional accreditation, several professional programs were also re-accredited. Among them were the Council for the Accreditation of Educator Preparation, National Association of Schools of Music, Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology, and the Association of Technology, Management, and Applied Engineering. Going back to our story, with accreditation in place, we set our sights on optimizing our program array. We developed and launched new undergraduate programs, mainly in these majors: accounting, finance, marketing, management, special education, emergency management, and information technology. Graduate programs are becoming an important component of our academic offerings, with approximately 13% of our overall student body being graduate students. Last year, we launched our first accelerated bachelor's to master's programs in sport administration and nursing, which will enable qualified undergraduate students to begin working towards their master's degree while completing their bachelor's degree. This is what we often call the 4+1 programs. We also developed 4 new online degree completion programs in emergency management, writing studies, marketing, and also interactive and graphic design. I appreciate the tireless work of our faculty who developed these new degree programs and new delivery formats. They did all of this during the pandemic. These programs will help our university meet regional workforce needs while providing new pathways for learners. While these new programs and modalities add to the richness of our educational offerings, providing them at an affordable cost, as you know, is becoming increasingly difficult. But we are addressing that challenge too. Last year, the university acquired and refinanced the village's residence halls from SSI. This process has positioned us to save approximately $60 million over the next 27 years. The university is not keeping this money to itself. The savings is being passed on to our students starting this year. We have reduced residence hall rates at the villages by 8%, and we've decreased the overall cost of attendance for the 3rd time in a row. We are bending the affordability curve. And we are doing this for our students. We are bucking the trend. That's what we are doing at Millersville University. Last year, as I mentioned, how we are saving our students tens of thousands of dollars by using open educational resources, I want to follow up with an update. I am happy to report that this trend continues. Since the fall of 2020 semester, the Open Textbook Initiative, led by the Center for Academic Excellence, has saved students approximately $900,000. This is money that students have kept in their pockets that they would otherwise have spent. In doing all of this, we pay attention to student success, because the success of our students is key to everything we do at Millersville University. The Office of Student Support Services has implemented Starfish, which is a holistic student success platform. We have also created a student success network, which is a partnership between academic affairs and student affairs. Collectively, their mission is to provide opportunities for the academic, personal, and professional development of our students. The network will provide individualized services such as mentoring, advising, and other high-impact experiences. Let's hear from Dr. Margaret Imbidio, one of our faculty members in this network, who will describe our academic resilience initiative.
To me, student success is a long journey. Our mission as success coaches is to try to connect with the student to find what they may need and really help them.
It just kind of points you in the right direction. It's almost like mentorship.
There's things for homework, there's time management. They're there for you to talk to if you have stuff going on outside of the classes.
The academic coaches are a resource that can catapult you into the next level.
As you can tell, you heard about academic coaches. Our students are being provided these coaches to ensure their success. One of our signature programs here at Millersville is the Made in Millersville event, which is a showcase of student research and creative activity. Our virtual event took place in April, and it included 113 presentations. Some of them were live, and some of them were pre-recorded. And it featured 169 student scholars and their other artists. Thanks to the faculty and staff who pivoted the format to make this experience so valuable to our students. And this occurred during the pandemic. Our faculty and staff didn't say we are in the pandemic, so there will be no Made in Millersville. They found a way to make it happen. Continuing our story, with quality academic programs available at a reduced cost, our next step was to address other student experiences. For example, our admissions team hit the streets in vans to run socially distanced welcome to incoming students and keep them connected to the Ville. This project increased our new students' sense of belonging and demonstrated our commitment to their success. We also ensured that in-person campus tours for prospective students continued throughout the year. As you may be aware, some schools decided to do only virtual campus tours. We brought people to campus. This approach contributed towards an increase in the number of applications that were submitted to Millersville this past year. We know that students' families play an important role in their success and persistence. As such, last year we launched a parent portal to enhance the involvement of parents and their families in the success of our students. The portal, which currently has about 4,000 subscribers, provides information to parents that empowers them to support our students. Continue with our story. Let me share with you some of the efforts we are making to give our students transformative experiences. And that is the second pillar of our strategic plan. That work begins with our epic value of inclusion, because student success rests on a foundation of belonging. We have established an Inclusive Excellence Advisory Committee, which is made up of representatives from across the campus. This group aims to incorporate inclusive excellence into the fabric of our university. They established a global perspective student leadership network, which promotes cross-cultural awareness and cultural intelligence as a necessary skill to succeed as a global citizen. Kindly watch this short video, which highlights our inclusive excellence model.
Anytime you've got a particular group that has been marginalized and oppressed, you need special recognition of their importance.
I think it's really important that we have these commissions to represent everyone's voices throughout the Millersville community.
I really wanted a school that was inclusive and welcoming and would allow me to be myself. I learned about the policies at Millersville. I was amazed. I was like, this is it. This is the school I'm going to. It's just so welcoming and so nice, and I felt at home.
The university functions so that all of these different individuals and departments all come together to provide support for our students.
We have a role to play in celebrating each other.
The more diverse voices that we have, the better we can meet the needs of the community, because the more opportunities we'll have to hear what your lived experience is and how you can make Millersville a more inclusive and equitable place.
As a result of all of these efforts on behalf of that's by our faculty and staff, in September of 2020, we were awarded the Diversity Hit Award for the 9th consecutive time. This award, given annually to only 100 universities in the US and Canada, recognizes an institution's commitment to diversity and inclusion. Further demonstration of our commitment to diversity and inclusion will soon be seen on campus. We broke ground for the Divine Nine and Cultural Greek Council Memorial Walkway just behind the SMAC recently. Representing traditional Black Greek-lettered organizations and several Latinx and multicultural fraternities and sororities, this installation honors the history, the heritage, scholarship, and community service of these organizations. Made possible by nearly 200 alumni and friends of Millersville, it will soon become a favorite gathering place for our students. And by the way, we are the first PWI in Pashi that has the Divine Nine plots on our campus. As a result of the pandemic, last year, we had a fewer number of students living in residence halls, but many of them participated in living learning communities. These communities have been established for the Honors College, the Scholars Program, ROTC, Social Advocacy, and Creative Writing. And as we speak now, there are plans focused on establishing living learning communities for the LGBTQ plus allies, as well as the international connections for our international students. These are all experiences that we are providing to our students beyond the classroom experiences. Another experience that we provided to our students was mentorship. Throughout my career, I have benefited from mentorship, and I believe in the power that it provides in transforming people's lives. Last year, we established a new peer mentorship program for first-year students in partnership with Mentor Collective. This program connects first-year students to upper-class peer mentors for one-on-one guidance and advice. And I'm glad to say that so far, 500 students have signed up for this program already. Our students didn't excel only in the classroom, because they did so also on the field. Although athletics was impacted by the pandemic last year, we had some noteworthy accomplishments that I would like to share with you. The first one is our men's baseball team won the PSAC East Championship for the second time in a row. Hannah Wolfling was named the PSAC Rookie of the Year in track and field. And our women's tennis team advanced to the PSAC Championship match. This is the first time since 2004. They deserve a round of applause. Last weekend, our 4 student athletes were back on the field for the first time since fall 2019. I am thrilled to see all these students, coming back, and I'm glad that they are returning to the field, and I look forward to more victories this year. Continuing with the story, one of my core beliefs is that the people are the greatest assets of any organization. And at Millersville, we are blessed to have top talent among our faculty and staff. It is our responsibility then to continue investing in our people in order to propel our institution forward. That is why the third pillar of our strategic plan is to invest in people and place. To do so, we need to increase our resources. How have we been doing this? Let me share this story with you. Philanthropy is one of the ways to generate additional resources needed to accomplish this goal, to support our people, to help them in professional development, as well as enhance our facilities. By June 2018, the Imagine the Possible campaign had raised $14 million towards a $32 million goal within 2 years. By June of last year, we exceeded that target by 65%. So what do? Well, other institutions will hold a big celebration, and then move forward. But we don't do that at Millersville. Of course, at Millersville, after we that we have such a success, we set new goals, and often these are loftier than the previous ones. That's why this past summer, we extended the campaign by 3 years, and then we increased the goal to $90 million. I am glad to announce today that we are already at 89% to our new goal. And we still have 2 years to go, so we are working on it. We could never have raised this level of support, without the generous gifts of community members. Let me highlight a few major donors who helped us achieve this goal. We received the largest gift ever to athletics, which is a $1.5 million commitment from our alumna, Lois Morgan. We were also fortunate to get an estate gift of $4.3 million from an alumna, Lizolet Werheim, that was given to the School of Nursing. And finally, this year, we received the single largest gift in our university's history, a $5 million gift from my friends, Dr. Samuel and Mrs. Dina Lombardo. Due to the outstanding work of our development office and our collective efforts, giving to Millersville has tremendous momentum. There is excitement around our plans and our message, and we are working very hard to increase our endowment. But don't take my word for it. I would like you to listen to why our benefactor, Dr. Sam Lombardo, supports our university. Today, with appreciation and gratitude, I am extremely proud to announce that the building behind me, currently known as Brooks Hall, will become the Samuel N. and Dina M. Lombardo Hall. Sam and Dina gave us a generous gift of $5 million towards creating the best learning space for students in the Lombardo College of Business.
This is a very profound moment for my wife and I. We have a lot of family that have benefited from an education at Millersville University. We love what Millersville University does to educate their student body and the type of people that they turn out to be for our community.
The benefits of this transformational gift will have an outstanding impact on the academic experiences of our students by preparing them to become outstanding business leaders of the future. Isn't this exciting? This is what we are doing at Millersville. As I said earlier, all our efforts so far to meet those goals has been done collectively. I was particularly thrilled by our one-day give event. Last year marked the third consecutive year of substantial growth in both total giving as well as the number of gifts we received. We raised $608,000 in 24 hours. Everyone contributed. Gifts came from our students, our faculty, our staff, alumni, parents, and friends. And this was truly a campaign of the community. And I thank everyone who participated. For those who didn't get a chance to participate, this is just to let you know that we are already planning next year's one-day give. So keep an eye for it. And we welcome you to be part of this exciting occasion on our campus. In addition to our progress in philanthropy, we are also positioning ourselves for investments through grants and sponsored research. Last April, Mr. Jeffrey Porter joined us as our Associate Vice President for Grants, Sponsored Programs, and Research. We have established a new office to support this area, and we now serve as the new coordinator of system-wide grants for PASHI. So how did we do this past year? We received $11 million in awards, the highest in terms of dollars awarded in the past decade. Another indication of our faculty members' success in seeking external grants is the success we had in PASHI's Faculty Professional Development Council grant competition. Out of the 15 proposals that our faculty, hardworking, indefatigable, submitted, 8 of them were funded. This represents the largest number of awards ever received by Millersville, and overall, it represented 20% of all the FPDC awards that were given by the system. Think about it. 10 universities, including the integrated ones, one university gets 20% of the grants. Put it in context. That is what we are doing here. As part of our response to the challenges imposed by the pandemic and cyber attack last year, we increased our investment in technology. Among these enhancements were: 1, implementation of new security measures, such as the multi-factor authentication. 2, equipping 60 classrooms with new technologies that better support remote instruction. And finally, installation of future technologies in our classrooms, such as the oblong mezzanine in our meteorology lab. That is where we are spending our money. It is for the students. As you can tell, we are working hard to position ourselves for a vibrant future in our offerings to students and in our commitment to their success. That brings me to the final pillar of our strategic plan. The final pillar of our strategic plan is to share information about our role as an engine of socioeconomic mobility in central Pennsylvania and beyond. Communicating our value requires an intentional approach to telling our story. I often say, if you light a candle and you put it under a bucket, nobody will see the light. We are moving away from that. During the past year, our communications and marketing team developed and implemented a media campaign to advertise our new academic programs through television, radio, social media, and billboards. I've heard stories from people who saw or heard our messages on these platforms, and you may also have heard it or seen it around. We have exceptional stories to tell, and I'm excited about the renewed effort we made this year to tell these stories, and I know we will have more to tell in the coming year. One of the many features that makes our university special is our proximity to and connection with the city of Lancaster. The World Center serves as our gateway to downtown Lancaster. And this past year, the center celebrated a very special milestone, their 10-year anniversary. I would like to share with you a small clip from the anniversary video.
We've hired the right people here that have lived up and understood what the university was trying to do with this whole direction. It was not about a building, per se. It was about how a regional public university and the Lancaster community could come together to serve all.
You know, I think one of the ways this has exceeded expectations that perhaps none of us ever imagined when it first came on board was how much Millersville has shared it with the community.
And it's advancing some of our educational priorities, our social priorities, and our artistic priorities, which are the soul of the city when you get right down to it.
Once again, Millersville is engaged with its community. We are a public regional university, and it's our responsibility to engage with our local community. One of the outcomes of the pandemic was the need to develop new ways to interact with each other. Our alumni hosted several virtual events, including a book club and behind-the-scenes tour of our campus. Additionally, we created a new volunteer platform, Volunteer at the Ville, to connect our alumni to our students. As you are aware, Millersville is committed to sustainability. This past academic year, we convened our first regional business conference that focused on the UN Sustainable Development Goals. There were about 140 attendees and 6 partnering organizations that participated in this conference. And this was the inaugural one. We hope and plan to also have it again this academic year. Now, you might ask, why are we doing this? In addition to engaging us with our local community, the reputation of this institution needs to be known beyond our local region. In recognition of our accomplishments in sustainability, we were among the first 45 higher education institutions in the US, and the only partial institution to be ranked by the Times Higher Education Impact Ranking. This is a global ranking system that measures performance towards achieving the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Imagine a student graduating from Millersville, going for an interview and saying, I graduated from Millersville, it is one of the top ranked institutions that is working towards the UN Sustainable Development Goals. That is what we are providing to our students. That is the value that we are giving our students. Continuing our story, the pandemic has had a lot of impact on different people in different ways. A recent article in The Economist highlighted how this pandemic deepened socioeconomic inequalities across the globe. Let me share with you this paragraph, which stuck out to me. Quote, those on low incomes who are fortunate enough to find employment face other inequities. Greater dependence on in-person forms of work puts the low-paid at higher risk of exposure to COVID-19. And as the pandemic keeps children out of school, many poorer workers face a terrible choice between going to work or looking after their children. And the digital divide, too, weighs on low-income students without access to online, high-speed, and reliable internet. But the most important and distressing source of pressure on poorer families will be the return of persistently high levels of joblessness. Before the pandemic, Lancaster County had that's unemployment rate of about, I think, 8%. When the pandemic hit, within 2 months, it jumped to 21%. To address this challenge, our Office of Community Engagement, Government, and Economic Development led our efforts to help unemployed and underemployed people in our community. They did so by helping them to reskill, to upskill, and to retool to re-enter the job market. The office partnered with Lancaster Workforce Development Board, and they received a grant from BBT Bank and the Truist Foundation for information technology training targeting the unemployed and underemployed individuals in Lancaster County. Another grant that they received from the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry focused on digital literacy skills in partnership with Adamstown and Quarryville Public Libraries. These are examples of our core value of providing public mission. That's making sure that we serve our community. Our College of Graduate Studies and Adult Learning developed innovative programs to serve the needs of our regional workforce too. For example, our master's program in assessment, curriculum, and teaching launched a one-year online pathway to full teacher certification. This program will serve teachers working on emergency teaching certificates and will provide school districts with a cost-effective program to fully credential their emergency teachers. Millersville's DNA is teacher preparation. If we don't do it, who will do it? It is our responsibility, and we are stepping up to the plate. Throughout the last academic year, we had our ups and downs, but for me, the zenith of the year was our 3-day commencement events in May. The challenges of the year dissolved as I looked at the faces of our graduating students. I saw joy, I saw pride, and the gratification that comes with perseverance. Over 1,200 students graduated, and they participated in the 4 ceremonies, which marked the beginning of the return to a full and vibrant campus. I am excited to share with you just a little bit of what happened during these commencements. As tradition requires, it is my turn to send you off into the world with advice, suggestions, and sage words. You graduates today, you are going to make this world a better place.
You all changed course on a moment's notice, proved to be resilient and capable of working in an ever-changing environment which none of us could ever have imagined.
From day one, President Wubah has focused on you, your experience and success.
Graduates of the 2021 and 2020 class, I congratulate you for following your dreams, and I encourage you to embrace the opportunities and the challenges ahead as you help others realize their dreams.
You may not have all the answers you want. You may not know what direction life will take you. Just take time to live in the moment and enjoy this accomplishment, because you never know where life will take you.
I think John says it all to our students as well as our alumni. But with the Millersville education, you'll be prepared to face those challenges that life will provide. It is safe to say that the pandemic didn't slow us down in this past year. We surpassed targets and bucked trends, and we confronted challenges we never anticipated. In every sense, we acted in epic fashion. So as we embark on the second year of our strategic plan, we have wind in our sails, and we know our direction. Success breeds success, and people naturally will want to be part of a winning team. And there is a role to play for each member of our community as we seek to achieve new heights. So what are our plans for this year? Let me frame them around the 4 pillars that I've been using so far. First, we will ensure access, affordability, and completion by further assessing the total cost of attendance while improving retention and graduation rates. Second, we will transform student experiences and foster innovation by introducing our university to new audiences and new partners with whom we can create and expand workforce development. Third, we will invest strategically in our people and place by increasing our fundraising and friend-raising efforts, In addition to catalyzing our new grant opportunities, we need scholarships for our students. Our students demonstrate in so many ways that they are prepared to be here. And for some of them, it is due to lack of finances. So with the university trying to cut the cost down, so far as we can get supporters or donors to give us money for their scholarships, I think it will be a win-win situation. Fourth, we will communicate our value by further increasing our presence in and around Lancaster County. And of course, in the region, and we are going global. Our focus is local, but we're also going global. Now, working together in the spirit of cooperation and innovation, we will meet the aspirations of our vision. That is to inspire learners to change the world. The good news is that I've witnessed our passion and enthusiasm on display in the early days of this semester. We are a community that is gifted with intangible quality of togetherness. But I have never felt that togetherness quite as strongly as I have these past few weeks as we came back. Our year-long separation has only worked to strengthen our bonds and to bring us closer. In the days ahead, I encourage each of you to draw energy and strength from this. So let me conclude by expressing my deepest gratitude to everyone for the many gifts you gave to our community this past year. You gave your time, you gave your talent, and your treasure. And all of this was to serve the well-being of our students. Those seated around you in this room and those who are joining us online. You are truly epic. Thank you very much. Mesdamoiselles. Merci beaucoup. Gracias. She na. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us for the 2021 State of the Ville Address. We look forward to seeing you at the Garden Supper.